What is up, YouTube? My name's Anna and this is Anna Does Money, a channel where I talk about money-making strategies and my personal debt recovery journey. In my last debt update video, I've shared that my cost of living was still way too high, even though I was living in a tiny apartment on my own. So I decided to move in with my partner and we found this beautiful 3-story, 3-bedroom townhouse that's actually cheaper than the place I was living before. My original apartment was not even 500 square feet. That apartment was built in the 1950s, and although they did do some renovations to make it look a little nicer, it's still a concrete building where you can't even control the thermostat. The taps run with brown rusty water. There's cockroaches and mold. Yuck. But that's the price I paid for living just outside of Toronto in my own apartment. Toronto, if you don't know, is one of the most expensive cities in the world to live. I meant to film a tour of that apartment before I actually left and moved into this new place, but I forgot to do that. So instead, here's some clips of me dancing around in my Poshmark video. Okay, let's do a super quick overview of what my living costs were in my old apartment, and then I'll give you a tour and give you the updated amount and tell you how much I'm saving, because I am saving. My housing costs were just under $1,900 a month. This includes my rent, my utilities, internet, as well as a storage locker where I could store all my off-season or sporting goods that I'm not using all the time. I specifically picked this apartment because it was walking distance to my workplace, so I wouldn't have to pay anything in transportation. In the miscellaneous section, I've also included laundry because I had to pay to use the laundromat, which ran me about $10 a week unless I was being extra cheap and decided to do laundry either at my boyfriend's house or at my mom's house. Okay, now let's take you on a tour of my new house. So this house is a 3-story, 3-bedroom townhouse complete with a garage and a basement. When you come into the front door this way, this leads up to the main living area, and down this hall we actually have a second living area. So this space here, we have a little bit of a backyard. There's no grass or anything yet since they haven't finished the landscaping, it's brand new. So this space here we'll maybe use as a gym or maybe a second living space. Down this hall we've got our garage. And then we've also got a basement. So right now I've pretty much just stored all my seasonal junk in the basement here, but it's really great because I won't have to use that storage locker that I was paying $100 a month for. My partner and I are actually both engineers, so this will probably double as a little workshop for the two of us. On this second floor is what I would consider our main living area as well as our kitchen. There's so much space here, we actually are struggling to figure out what to do with it because neither one of us has ever had this much space of our own. The kitchen has to be one of my favorite spaces in the house. It is the kitchen of my dreams. It almost feels too big to just have for the two of us, so hopefully when this whole COVID thing is over, we'll be able to throw a bunch of dinner parties for all of our friends. The kitchen opens up onto this little balcony area, which is really great for just having your coffee in the morning. Obviously, it's not very private. As you can see, there's another row of houses on the other side of us, and actually it's the same case over on the front of the house. We don't have blinds at the moment. Right now, we're those no blind neighbors that everyone looks at us like we live in a fishbowl, but they should be coming next week, so we're not gonna be those weirdos anymore. There's a small little powder room off to the side here. And then we've got these stairs that lead up to the 3rd level where the bedrooms are. So just down this hallway, we've got our washer and dryers in here. And in here we've got our master bedroom, which has a walk-in closet as well as an ensuite bathroom. Just down here we've got another bathroom. And then down this hall we've got two essentially identical little bedrooms, which we're using each for an office space. And that's pretty much it. That's the house tour. So why is this place so cheap? You would think, hey, your cheap crusty apartment was $1,640 a month and this huge house is $2,400. Well, there's a couple reasons for that. Number one is it's far from work. It's about a 30-minute drive without traffic. In traffic, it's about 45 minutes to an hour. Luckily right now, because of COVID and we have a lockdown, most people are working from home. My partner and I do go to the office a couple times a week. If he's driving to the office, I can catch a ride with him. If not, then taking the train from here to the office would be just under 2 hours. So it's quite the commute. We got lucky because everyone else renting in this area is renting for about $2,700 a month or even more, whereas we are paying only $2,400, and that's because our landlord just really wanted good tenants that would take care of the place, and he didn't care so much about bidding it up to the highest offer, and luckily he picked us. Guess we seem like good tenants. Okay, so let's take a look at how much I saved by moving into this new house, because there have been quite a few changes. So housing, my rent, like I said, is $1,200 a month. The utilities are a bit higher because it is a bigger place, even though I am splitting with 2 people. The internet is also a little bit higher, but I don't have to rent a storage locker, so that saves $100 a month. So I end up at about $1,340 a month. My food costs and my phone costs are the same. I actually anticipate my miscellaneous costs to go down because I do have laundry on site. Of course, you know, I'm paying more electricity for that, but it's still not as much as the $10 a week that I'm paying to use one of those laundromat machines in my old building. My transportation costs will of course go up because before I was walking to work or biking to work, and now I have to either help pay for gas for my partner to drive or take the train, which is about $10 each way. I budgeted that I'll probably be going in 2 to 3 times a week, but I'm gonna try and keep that as much of a minimum as I can to save on some costs. So overall, if we calculate that all together, I'm saving about $380 a month from moving from that cheap apartment to this beautiful, nice new house. Not bad. This update in my living expenses probably won't be reflected in my April debt update, because I had to pay for moving expenses like hiring helpers and getting a moving truck. And of course I had to pay first and last month's rent on this place. So that did take up a big chunk of my money, but I'm thinking the next few months of May and June and so on, that lowered costs of living will be reflected in my debt repayment capabilities. As always, I'm gonna continue sharing my debt recovery journey and any money-making strategies or money-saving strategies that I try along the way on this channel. So if you find that interesting and if you wanna support my channel, please do leave me a thumbs up and a comment and subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope to see you next time on Anna Does Money. Peace out, dudes.